Okay, now moving on to example 2, once again, paying attention to structure of the problem, we have x to a power, y to a power over x to a power, y to a power. I don't focus on what the powers look like, I just focus on the basic structure of the problem. I've got x being divided by x, and I have y being divided by y. That's what's happening here. Now, the rule for this says I'm supposed to take the top power and subtract the bottom power for each individual thing. So, for x, I take the top power, which is a minus 2, subtract the bottom power, which is a over 2. For y, I take the top power, which is a plus 4, and subtract from it the bottom power, 2a. So again, apply the rule based on the powers you're looking at, and just write out what you have. Don't worry about getting like terms or common denominators or anything right here. Just write down what you're supposed to write down so you can look at it and make decisions on how to handle it. The y is real easy, right? Everything's ready to go. These guys are like terms, 4 isn't, so you're just going to get this nice little binomial power. For the x's, we have a fraction, so we have to get everything common denominators. So a is 2a over 2, 2 is 4 over 2. Right? So we can go ahead and make everything over 2. So then, looking at x, I'm going to get an over 2. 2a minus 1a makes a minus 4. So just like that, we get a minus 4 all over 2. That's how I want your powers to be written, as a single fraction unit, not a over 2 minus 2. That's the same as a minus 4 over 2. Those are the same thing. I prefer the powers to be written as one unit, so get it all in one fraction form like that. Looking at the y, these guys are like terms, 4 isn't, so a minus 2a is negative a plus 4. I'd be fine with 4 minus a also, take your pick. The order of things doesn't really matter to me that much. And again, x to a power simplified as much as possible, y to a power simplified as much as possible. That is the end result of that problem. I want to make a comment about one thing real quick, because this is going to happen before I get into the instruction mode on this type of problem again. Suppose we have that. Right? Doesn't look much different than that over there, right? There's no y, but other than that, it's pretty much the same type of structure, x divided by x, right? Be careful when the bottom has more than one object on it, because again, you're supposed to subtract the bottom power, right? So x is x, and the top power is a plus 5. We're subtracting the bottom power. Oops. We subtract the bottom power. I'm going to subtract 2a minus 3 in parentheses, because it's very important. We're subtracting the bottom power. The minus sign has to affect the entire power, not just a piece of it. So make sure, if the bottom has more than one object, that we deal with it. The top having more than one object doesn't matter, because no signs change on that, right? But this is going to be a minus 2a makes negative a, and 5 minus negative 3 makes plus 8. And a lot of people don't change the sign on that 3 and end up with a 2 instead of an 8, and all of a sudden you get the wrong answer. And it's never a good thing. We don't like to get wrong answers, right? Wrong answers aren't our favorite. So, but again, that happens quite often where you get a binomial in the denominator. Make sure that you're subtracting each piece of it, not just the first object.